Good morning, fellow peeps and folks. I'm Allie, and today we are watching Loki episode 2, which is called The Variant. So, last video was very long. I'm sorry if it was too long for some of you. I don't know if it was too long, honestly, because I'm recording this like right after. I was getting warm. And this episode is also one of the longer ones. I think it's the longest. It's the 53-minute episode. But yeah, last time we had the start of the show with Loki being apprehended by the TVA because, you know, creating alternate timelines. Because apparently what the Avengers did was always planned from the very beginning. Well, yeah. And apparently one of Loki's other versions does things and is the variant that they're gonna hunt. And we'll see how that goes along. Maybe Loki's gonna help do stuff there. We'll see. He had an identity crisis, basically, about having a choice and not having a choice, being, like, bound by destiny and stuff. Well, destiny. You know, the three fates, basically, the timekeepers, who want to keep that one clean timeline. Fun. But yeah, that's basically where we're at. We just found out that it's basically Loki who's the variant, but we don't know much else. Just that, you know, hurting people is basically on the agenda. And setting people on fire, too, kind of. So the team that wanted to reset that one alternate timeline we had at the end of the episode, was basically killed, and the reset thing wasn't activated, so that timeline still exists, probably. So, I guess that's enough for us to catch up and then jump into the next episode. Yeah, like this episode is the longest, and the next one is the shortest. I think I'm gonna do 2 and 3 today, too, but, like, leave 4 to 6 to someday else. I think. I don't know. Depends on how I feel after those episodes. But yeah, episode 2, The Variant. We're gonna find out more. And there's some construction work going on at some point. I hope you don't hear that. But yeah. Let's start with Loki, episode 2, The Variant, in 3, 2, 1, and go. Oh, we're getting a recap. Yep. Previously on Loki. Fun! Apparently. Alright, that's where we're at. And now we have the actual, like, heroic music for the Marvel thing. Like, last time we had the somber one. Probably because, like, you know, okay, we're commemorating Endgame and stuff. Alright, Marvel Studios. Let's hit me with that second episode then. Okay. Like medieval times. Wisconsin. Whee! Okay, so it's more like a medieval market going on here, since it's the 80s, the 1980s. Yeah, you're gonna be eradicated soon. Your whole world is gonna be done. Mm-hmm. Nexus energy. Nexus was the point where the timelines diverge, right? Okay. All right. Well, that works, I guess. Of course. Oh gosh. I'm vibing with this music choice. Yeah. All right. I need a hero. Looking for a hero till the end of the night. Gotta be strong and he's gotta be the hero. Sorry, I'm not paying attention much to what is happening because I'm vibing with the music. Alright. Alright, that is the part we're starting on. Interesting. So that didn't go as planned, I guess. Alright, so we're gonna go to the others now. Friendship is magic. What? Okay. So you're gonna be a recurring character? Interesting. A jacket. All right. Dressed for the part, I guess. All right. Of course. He didn't even read it. Damn. Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 Interesting. I could basically compare that to some of the RWBY semblances, but I won't, since I don't know how many of you have watched RWBY. Is it? Alright, so that's his goal. Probably not. Yeah, basically. At least. Hey, more than nothing. Of course. Okay. How? Can you be less cryptic? Of course it's about wolves. Okay. Yeah. Well, well, that's why, you know, that person was taken, right? Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, the thing is, he's trying to... He's trying to get that audience. And that's how a world disintegrates and just vanishes from existence. Sad. Very sad. Hunter C20 MIA. Well, that doesn't look nice. I wouldn't want to sit in an office like that. Of course. Okay. Wow. It didn't go at all like you wanted. That makes actual sense, understanding him. That could happen. But it doesn't have to. Okay. So that is important. One last chance. Maybe. Will you, though? Will you, though? He's not wondering, he knows. Catching Loki 101. Wow. This is a different dynamic. Wow. Are you, though? Wow. Oh. Well, which one are you gonna believe? Oh no. Okay, that dynamic has changed a lot. Work. Okay. Let's work then, I guess. This is a very interesting setup. Are we gonna meet those timekeepers? That's the question. Maybe. Paperwork for Loki. That's not gonna go well. Oh no. Is this a library? Wow. Already tired of work? You wanna leave? Yeah, someone's not gonna listen to you. All right. Of course they are. What files can he have? Variant case files. What else would it be? Destruction of Asgard. Yeah, that didn't happen to him. Not yet, at least. Well, not to this version. Yeah, that is the Ragnarok part. Total planetary destruction. Entire civilization annihilated. Oh, damn. That's a lot of casualties. I mean, probably, like, not too much if you, like, if you would destroy the whole Earth, it's way more, but still, like, in the thousands, almost 10,000, that's still quite a lot of people dead. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's another meme I remember. Very sad, anyway. Yes. Basically. Okay. Oh no. Poor Salad. Ragnarok would be destroyed anyway, like, happen anyway. Because Asgard would be destroyed. And it wouldn't matter. Right? Is that what he wants? Poor Salad. Because the changes someone does don't matter in the end. That makes sense, actually. Why not? Why not? Well. Yes. You have. Sure. That's actually true. So, it makes sense. So, oh, okay, so they're going to Pompeii. Right before the Vesuvius is wreaking havoc. I didn't need that time to know when we are. Yeah, that happens. When are the ashes coming? I mean, but as long as you don't make sure that, like, people can escape before they should, or make the volcano not go off. At least you can speak Latin. Sure. I guess. So yeah, it's okay. It was late enough so that he wouldn't make anyone run before their time. if he would have done it too early, people could have run before it happened. Maybe you should go. I mean, it makes sense. And more paperwork, because that's what we need. Wow. Every person needs something to be passionate about. I guess he's passionate about jet skis. It would be fun. Okay. Yep. There's always a story about how stuff is created. Honestly, Ymir and his armpits are weirder than 3 timekeepers. So if you don't know about it, read up on Norse mythology, Ymir, and the whole thing, like things sprouting from armpits. That's a real thing in Norse mythology. So if everything's already written, how can it be a work in progress? Sure. And then everything ends and nothing's there anymore? Boring. Yeah. I like that. I like that. Okay. What did you just deduce? Oh, okay. That's different. Okay, so they're gonna try to find what works together. Okay. Everything. Okay, so what happened there? I didn't read it. Hurricane. Okay. Makes sense in America. There are a few of those. Yes. All right. All right. Yeah. All right. So, let's see if we can find anything. Let's go to Alabama, I guess. 2050. Yeah, one step. Don't give him weapons. All right. Yeah, except for that one. Well, that's definitely a hurricane. And a bad one at that. Yeah. I mean, why not? You don't have to be too creative about what is happening in the future when you can just have destruction, which is the same basically everywhere. He just dried himself. Yep. Makes sense. I mean, why wouldn't you do it if you can? Well. Mm-hmm. Well, that's a thing. Because they seem to, you know, they want to validate the role. Hello. Good to see you again, I guess. Alright, we have a 20-minute timer. Yeah, this is probably not the time for small talk. Okay. You never know. That's the thing. You never really know unless you find something that is like, yeah. Okay. So we see what we've had before. Yep. Taking control of those people. Sure. That smile. Okay, first contact between variants? Interesting power of, like, possessing them, basically. Because they know you're gonna die anyway. Oh, hi. You were missing. Okay. Next one to follow. Mm-hmm. Sure. I mean, she's gonna be fine, probably. I guess. Would be weird to kill her off now. Show yourself. Step into your power. Okay. Of course. Who else? All right. What else are you interested in then? Okay, here's one of those reset things. All right. Damn. That's info. Yeah, what just happened, right? Mm-hmm. Well. Yeah, you should be careful. Yes. That's basically one of his traits. Right. It's got magic here. Sure, use a vacuum to fight. I mean, why not? Yeah. You don't really have a chance at the moment. Not really, like, not in actuality, but comes close. Not. All right. What you gonna do? I don't know. So, where you now? All right. Are we gonna have a face reveal now? Oh, hi. Okay. Initializing. What is gonna be initialized? Oh, all of them. Well, that's a lot. That's more than just a lot. Sent to... Ooh, okay. That's the question. A lot of different branching timelines. Okay, so in different times and different places, the, like, things are going off, and that means something has changed, so there are branches, right? Do I understand that correctly? I hope. I hope. Well. Well. Bye-bye. I guess the plan, depending which perspective. He's going after? Okay. I think you lost him. Alright. First backstabbing. Alright, so that was episode number 2, which was a little longer than the last, but I'm not going to play all the credits, just, you know, watch the ones that are interesting. Well, but yeah, that was episode 2 of Loki. We got the first heel turn. And we saw the variant. Haven't gotten a name yet, but I guess we might get it next time. Like, technically it's Loki, but it's a different version of Loki, so how are we gonna call her? Because, you know, it would be weird to call them the same. But yeah, her plan basically worked out, I guess. Having those, I don't even remember how they're called, the things they use to reset the timelines, go to many places in the sacred timeline and have them go off. Which means it creates branches where they went off, but at different places in the timeline. But have they been modified? But because if it would just, you know, reset everything, wouldn't the branches then, you know, be gone either way? Or is it just to, you know, destabilize everything? I don't know. I will need a little bit more explanation on that front, but okay, let's see if there's anything at the end of those credits. Nope, this time there's nothing. Okay, be back in a minute. Alright, so that was episode 2 of Loki. It was called The Variant, and of course it was called The Variant because we found the variant. Lots of interesting things here. I guess we're just gonna go through it a little bit. So we start off with Loki trying to get into the groove of the TVA, but, you know, that doesn't really work. But yeah, there's like a lot of little info on like Loki's powers and yeah, that distinction he makes about illusions and however he called the other one. So yeah, they went to the that's the thing, that beautiful first scene. Where we go to like the medieval market in the 80s. And there was that fight scene to Holding Out for Your Hero. Yes, it was the beginning of the episode. Yes, I still got it stuck in my head. I need a hero. I'm holding out for a hero till the end of the night. Yeah, sure. Nice choice of music there. But yeah, as soon as they go there, Loki's trying his first attempt on manipulation. It pretty much, like, for a while it did work. Like, they were believing him. Even though I was like, how would you know that? So, I don't know if I would have believed him if I was, like, in their shoes and stuff. I would have probably just been like, okay, how... Can you give a reasoning? And, you know, the one thing he wants is to basically have an audience with the timekeepers to, you know, maybe take over. That's kind of the plan. Which, at that moment, it's more like, oh yeah, sure. Of course that's gonna be your plan, you're just gonna help them, right? So that mission was a bust, and then they get like this second chance and they have a lot of paperwork to do. So what we had with that whole paperwork thing, that whole deduction of where the variant might be hiding, that's what I found really interesting. That was one of the most interesting parts of this episode, I think. The whole thing about hiding, like, right before an apocalypse. Because no matter what you do, it's still gonna be destroyed. And that's actual good reasoning. Like, yeah, sure. I mean, if... weird comparison, but if you're scheduled to mow the lawn, it doesn't matter which flower grows there, it's gonna be mowed down either way, you know? It's a weird comparison, but it works. So what they did with Pompeii and whatever, it was actually very interesting to have that. To kind of show us, yeah, that's what they meant, you know? It doesn't really change much if there's not, you know, if there was like one person who could get away because of that, like a survivor, that would be, you know, a change in the timeline. That would be a branching timeline. But not if nobody escapes. And nobody was destined to escape either way. So it makes a lot of sense. And then we put it basically together with that candy, so they could, like, okay, we know the candy, we know where and when the candy exists, so it would make sense for the hideout to be place and time where that candy exists. You know? So it's very logical. Like, at first you're like, what does that have to do with the candy? And then you're like, oh, I know that. But yeah, the whole thing with the paperwork, how they found out and stuff, very interesting, very interesting. But probably the best part, I mean, apart from like the last couple minutes where you got the variant and stuff, apart from that, like in the middle of the episode, that talk they had before Mobius was like, oh yeah, the candy, that was what intrigued me a lot. Because, of course, it was, again, the whole talk about, hey, destiny versus choice. What exactly is happening there? First of all. Then we had the whole thing of, well, the timekeepers are supposed to have created all of this to keep the timeline in check. And how, to Loki, that sounded ridiculous. Like I said during the reaction, if you don't know about it, read it, about Norse mythology, how their, like, creation happened. Super weird. But also, like, in many other, like, civilizations, mythologies, religions even, there are multiple, like, creation stories. And that's what Mobius said, like, I believe in it, so it doesn't matter if it's true or not. If I believe it, then I believe it. And that's the thing, because every culture basically has their own creation story. Not all of them can be true, of course, because there can't be like 100 different times where the whole world was created as it is now. Because, you know, I mean, it could have been if we started in multiple different timelines, but apparently that's all in one. But, yeah. It's very interesting to think about, of like, okay, but what is true then? Okay, you can say, yeah, science proved that there was the Big Bang and stuff. Well, proved is a strong word, but yeah, you know, the whole Big Bang thing. Yeah, sure. But some people don't believe in it, they believe in something else. And for them, this is real, no matter what actually happened. For the people who believe in such a story, it is real. And that is basically what Mobius wanted to kind of convey there, I guess. And yes, a giant's armpits is definitely weirder than 3 fate people timekeepers. I mean, you have like the 3 fates as like players in multiple different cultures and mythologies and stories. Like obviously in Greek, because you know, the sisters there. But you also have them in Norse mythology, the Norns. So there seems to be a few connections there. Yeah. And then there was something else that Loki was talking about the thing of, yeah, why need order? Because it's boring if everything's just preset. And there's the thing of nothing can just be linear. It's just not possible. At least for him, it's like unthinkable. Because bad people are not all bad and good people are not all good. And that's a line where I was like, yes, yes, please. That's what I like, obviously, about just Loki as a character, because he is a villain in the franchise. But he's not all bad. He has motivations you can understand. He's more of a, like, well, morally gray in direction of villain, but, like, all of that is a spectrum. And if you know me, if you know what I'm, you know, writing about and whatever, I love morally gray characters. I love the discussion of good versus evil not really being a thing, because everyone has some of both in them. Yeah, it's nice to hear that, like, in a show actually addressed, being like, yeah, that's a thing. you might think everything in this organization is good, but that doesn't make sense because nothing can be totally good. There's a line in actually the Death Note musical in I think it's called They're Only Human or something. A song from the Shinigami's perspective, that their truth is another man's lie, which fits perfectly with the situation, I think. Never knowing that truth is another man's lie. Like, sure, it could refer to what I said about the whole creation stories, like, their truth is not the truth for everyone else, but also being good and evil works with that. Like, if someone's good, doesn't mean they're good for everyone. Their truth is another man's lie, or another woman's lie, or another non-binary person's lie. We're not gonna... But yeah, I find that very interesting, and I'm probably kind of going on tangents all the way. But that's just something I like to discuss. Like, I mean, if I start, like, the Discord channel for Loki, can we just do, like, a lot of discussions about such topics? That would be great. I like that. But yeah. After that, we basically got, like, the last situation there, where Loki meets the other version of him, who seems to kind of possess, enchant other people, hops from one body to another, and is carrying themselves as a woman. So at least we don't have them all played by Tom Hiddleston, right? There are different versions, so let's make them different. That's good. I mean, Loki has basically many faces, also in Norse mythology. Like, there's stories of him being an eagle, of him, of course, the whole horse story. Yeah. Like I said, if you don't know Norse mythology, read up on it. Loki turning into a female horse and then giving birth to Sleipnir. That's a thing that happened. Like, it's really fun to read about it. I wonder how much of those weird things we can incorporate into the Marvel Loki here. It's definitely already more than we got from the MCU before. Like, in the show, we're already tackling a few other things, which is interesting, yeah. So, like I said, pretty much during the credits, the plan went well, I guess, for someone. And we'll see the aftermath next episode. And Loki actually followed her. So now we have the two variants in one place, while Mobius is like, well, shit. That just happened, and I lost him. Fun. But yeah, that's basically it. If you want to discuss those topics that I talked about a little bit more, feel free to do it in the comments or on Discord. I mean, I'd be happy to talk about it. I'm a geek. Happens. So, on this note, have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!